Hi, we are live now. Let me introduce myself. Hi, everyone. Hello. My name is Rashmi Bandari, currently working in GoHype.in, and today my topic is basics of Dart and Flutter. Let's study with the for all the programming language there is a entry point or a starting point like that. For the Dart, there is a programming entry point is a void main. The syntax we are using as a void main, and the file extension is .dart. Dart is a statically typed programming language. What it means, statically typed programming language. Let's go for the snippets. Here, void main. This is the entry point of the programming language, and int a is equal to 10. Here, for the variable a, I have initialize the value of 10. Yeah, initial is a value of 10. It's of type integer. Now I'm telling to the variable a, like, let's try with the string value. I tried with the value of welcome to WTM Saudi Arabia. It's giving me an error. It's telling to me, compiler is giving to the error like a value of type string cannot be assigned to the variable of type int. That's why Dart is a statically typed programming language. If we mention the data type over there, is there any PHP, Python, JavaScript developers are there? In the comment section, mention, give a thumbs up or hi, so that I'll come to know. I have some good news for you also. Is it available? No, right? It's okay. We'll go for the what you mean by dynamically typed programming language. Actually, JavaScript. Why am I asking for the those kind of developers like who's already worked with JavaScript, PHP, Python, and they are working with a dynamically typed programming language. It's super cool, right? Like Dart is also started giving the support for the dynamically typed programming language. Dynamic A is equal to 10. A equal to hi, welcome to Dart. Dynamic A is equal to 10 is it's nothing but A is the integer value. We are assigning to the variable A, and it's of type dynamic. Now A, we are assigning the value of string type and printing the value of A. Hi, welcome to Dart. This is the two types actually. We are declaring the variable of dynamic, one with the keyword dynamic and one with the keyword of var keyword, but we are not initializing the value to it. Understood? First will be the like dynamic keyword. We won't be doing anything else. Just mention the keyword for with the dynamic, and one more will be with the keyword var. What it happens where b I have taken, but I have not initialized a value to it. In the next line I have initialized a value of 10 double value I have initialized, that is 10.0, and next point, welcome to WTM Saudi Arabia. It is dynamic, it is taking the value, but in previously what it has, it was throwing me in a compilation time error, like a value cannot be, string cannot be assigned to the variable of type int. This is called dynamically typed programming language. Next will be, yeah, Dart is not only supporting for the mobile apps, it also supporting for the web apps, server side applications also. What are the editors we are using? Commonly used editors are, one is Android Studio and Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ IDE, Dartpad, CodePen. These are the language like Android Studio, Visual Studio Code, and IntelliJ IDE. We have to download the software. After that, we have to install it. Then only we can use the editor. If you go for the Dartpad and CodePen, it's very useful. Actually, why I'm telling you, because if you want, if you're stuck with any programming language, like while doing something, animations or doing something in a code, you're stuck somewhere. then it is better to use dartpad and codepen. Means why I'm telling is actually we can share to the community to ask for the help where we are going wrong, and it directly connect to the GitHub so that they will be getting the link of dartpad or codepen. The using help of that they can run that actually. It will be very useful actually. Okay, and next I will be explaining what are the data types it will be using. One will be of type string, one will be type of the numbers, and number next will be the integer and double, and one third will be the boolean type. String actually, if you want to store the value like string type actually, for example like employee name and employee name or the employee number, like his id will be there, right? That if you want to store in a string value, then or his designation, then we can go with the string value. Numbers is actually like int and double. Number, yeah, like integer value, we without decimal point we have to store with the int type. The keyword will be int, and double will be like actually if you want to store that in the number value with the decimal point, then we have to go with the double value. Booleans actually, booleans are used to store true false value. But actually if you want to store true false value without the zero or one value, it is not preferable. That is not supporting that thing. But if you want to do booleans with the keyword bool, true or false value, we have to initialize for the variable. List and array maps. Why this collection concept is come into the picture? For example, let's consider the example like if I want to store the value of five variables types, then it will be easier using the concept of variable name and the data types. If I want to store 10,000 of records, then it will be very difficult for us to write it actually, right? Then but it's better to use a collection concept come into the picture. We have to can use list and map. There is a set and a queue. Most of the time we will be using list and map, so I'll be covering that. List is kind of actually like a array. We can store with the constructor also with the singular bracket, like how we'll be declaring the arrays. List actually with the sequential order how we inserted it, we can retrieve the data of that type actually. Map will be like a key value pair. It can store the null value also. All the data types are objects. What it means actually, we can access that the object it will be. So default values are null until we initialize the value to it. That is the why Dart actually when we are writing the code, right, default values are null until we initialize the value to it. So when we are printing the value of it in a variable or collections like list, map, and all, that time we'll be getting for the list and map we'll be getting an empty array. For the number variable we'll be getting null value. To handle that exception like null safety, Dart is also providing null pointer null safety. Like Kotlin is giving, Swift is giving, like that only. Dart is also started giving the support for that. I'm so excited for that because yeah, it will help us very much actually. It will while debugging the code, while we will be writing the code, it will be a tedious task actually to what is happening and all to see. But now if they are giving they are giving the support for the Dart code with a null pointer exception and all, then it will be very easy, right? Let's see how to handle that. Why null safety? Uh, that is because why null safety is happening. That is because the variable everything in Dart is object. So null error we will be getting. Right now, variables are the null safety is in tech preview version. Then it will be in a beta version. Then it will be in a stable version. Then what are the keyword we are using to handle the null safety? That is, one is the question mark. Next will be the exclamatory marks. The third will be the late keyword. This is the null safety dartpad dev. It's under preview tech preview version. We have to send this in the comment section. We'll be sending null safety dartpad. Next will be the sound null safety. Sound null safety. First, actually, like here, int variable with the question mark. What it means actually, assigning the value to the here we are telling to the we are telling like we can assign the value of null also. For doing that, we have to do the question mark over here. It is telling could be null but is not. Right now I have initialized the value of 1 over here. So there is no problem actually. If I want to assign a null value like this to this variable, then I have to write question mark. You can give a try how it is working. You can try with the null safety dartpad.dev link. After that, here list of int question mark list that could hold nulls is equal to 2 comma null comma 4. Here also we are telling to the list like we can hold the null variable. Let's go why that exclamatory mark assertion operator is required in the null safety. As per the definition, assign nullable expression to a variable that's not null label. Use assertion operator. It means that right now could be null is not a null, but there is a case like we can that's why we are mentioning like in a question mark. So we are assigning that this value to the variable that is not null because there is no question mark, so it cannot be null. If we do if we were doing without the exclamatory assertion operator, we are assigning to the variable of a, then there will be a compilation time error. But we have inserted the assertion operator, there will not be error. It will directly assign the value to the a. Same thing will be there for the list that could hold null. Dot first, I want to retrieve the value of 2 from the list that could hold null. For that, I have written like list that would hold null first with the exclamatory mark that is of b. I'm storing to the variable b. Next will be could return null but does not dot abc apps. That is actually what will happen. If it is I have given the -3 value, it will be the it will be in a positive value. This will be the apps keyword. A is now I'm printing A as 1, B as 2, and C as my output in the console. I'm able to see C as 3. One more thing I want to tell you, that is actually like Dart is not completely eliminated the null. That is actually why. It is we are handling actually now. That is because in some kind of scenario, let's see like the scenario is um, in the API. We are calling the API to display the data. In the API, we are getting the null in some point, not every time. Every time, in some points, something mismatch happened in the backend. So we are getting the null. So that time we have to handle that thing. Otherwise, we cannot display the value. In some scenario, it will be better to use for the list with a question mark, so we can access it, the other values. Next, we'll go. This is actually one command we have learned question mark and assertion operator where to use. Next will be the late keyword. What is the use of late keyword. We are telling to the variable like I will initialize the value to you later, not now. But it is telling to us, variable is telling to us, hello boss, you can do that, but before accessing to me, you just initialize to it. What I'm telling is, I'm just, let's see the example. Here in the, I have taken a model class that is final, my meal. In the my meal, set description as I have added the value before accessing. What it means, like my meal dot description, I want to print the value of it. Before that, I have assigned the value of fejoda. Now I got the output as fejoda. Let's go for the how we can declare the variable declaration and string interpolation. What is a variable declaration? We have studied the variable, the primitive types like int, number, int, double, string, and boolean are the primitive data types, and list are the map or collections. In case if you want to declare a variable like string a equal to hi WTM Saudi Arabia, I have taken the value of it to printing the dollar of a. Actually, string interpolation is nothing but it can be done with the for the integer and the double values. Here, I am coming from the Java background and Android developer. So I know that before in the Java language, what we used to do is we used to concatenate the two strings. If it is having the integer value, we used to concatenate that thing. But Dart is also supporting that, but it is a bad practice to concatenating those strings. Instead of, we have to declare with a dollar character, dollar of the variable name. Then what I did, dollar of a, then I printed, I got the output as hi WTM Saudi Arabia. Now I want to print what is the length of it. Now I got the output as 20. Now this where I will explain you later. Now I'll go for the int c is 10, print info. What is the value of c? I got the output as 10. After that, bool is the keyword for defining the boolean value. Then bool d is equal to true. Now I got the output as true. Now what is where is a keyword? What is a searcher? It means that welcome to Flutter. Here it is a string type. Welcome to Dart is a string type assigning to the value of b. The here b, where is the keyword? It is actually like if when I am assigning the value of string type, right? No need to declare value to it. If it is a string type, then what will happen with the where keyword? It automatically find out. It automatically find out. It is of where. It is automatically find out that it's of what type. Inferred as string. Type inference. That is a topic in the Dart. It automatically finds which type of data is assigned to the value. Now constant, final and constant. If you want to declare like you don't want to change the value of it, then just go for the final or constant keyword. Throughout the programming, you don't want to change the value of it. Final is a keyword. It will be useful at the time of runtime. Runtime means how it is. I will tell you. Once it won't allocate the memory to us until and unless we use it. But constant will be derived from the final keyword. It will be used at the time of compilation itself. But you just prefer go for the constant keyword. That is actually like throughout the programming, we will not be changing the value of it. Then use constant keyword. That is a final and constant. Const. Now let's study what is the difference between dynamic, var, and final. Dynamic is the keyword As I mentioned earlier, dynamic is a keyword. Uh, to it can change the data type, also the value of it. There is no restriction for that. Let's see the example like dynamic A is 123. Now A equal to 456. I have just changed the value of it. Then I didn't get any error. There is no compilation error. Now I got A. I have mentioned where the I changed the data type. Now it is of string type, string value ABC. I have initialized to the value A. Now there is no compilation. It's successful. It means dynamic value. Whatever the value can be, we want to initialize. It will take. There is no restriction with the data type or the value. We can modify the value of it. We can change the data type also. Next, we'll go for the where keyword. In the where keyword, I have changed the, for the B, I have initialized the value as 123, 123. Now I have modified the value from 123 to 456. There is no problem with that. It will be allowing for me to change the value. Now I go with the B equal to with the string value. And one more thing, in a string, we can declare with a string with the double quotes or with a single quote. In Dart will be allowed. Dart is supporting for that. B equal to ABC. Cannot change the type of from it into the in from int to string. Where in the where keyword we can change only the modify the value of it, not the data type of it. Final. Final is telling, oh no, you don't change anything. What you have initialized first time, I will be the remaining that one. See, final C is 123, C is equal to 456, C is equal to ABC I have done, but I got a compilation time error over here. But it only will take the value of C is equal to 123. Next, we'll go for the functional programming. What do you mean by functional programming? Higher functional programming, there are three types: lambda expression or fat arrow, higher order function, closures. Lambda expression or a fat arrow. It's a type 1, type 2 I have mentioned over here. That is because of the how the way we write the expressions over here. It's a multi-line expression, but it does not have the in the example this is there, right? This function a equal to a parameter of int a comma int b. This is actually a lambda expression, but it does not have the method name. The function, it does not have the method name. Here I have passed int a comma int b as a parameter, and I have did some calculation a plus b to it. Function does not have the method name, then it will be a lambda expression. If anyone is there over here with a Flutter developer, we are using this syntax in our day-to-day life with the Flutter development. You just come in the comment section, you just write which is the function we are using, like lambda expression. We will discuss later. Let's go with the output of it. When a of I have passed the value of 4 comma 5. 4 is passed here and 5 is passed over here. But it's a and Dart. One more thing is there. Parameter type is there. Data type is there, right? Within the parameter, it's optional. We can directly write a comma b. There is no restriction in the Dart language. Now I got the output as 4 comma 5. The output I got is 9. That some of the values are 9. One more thing, like it doesn't have the method name, but how if we other programming language with the we used to pass the parameter with the method name, but here we have to pass the parameter with the variable name, that is of a. Then a of 4 comma 5. I got the output here and I print it over here. Next will be the single line expression. Single line expression is nothing but same example. I just changed the value of it from 4 comma 5 to 5 comma 7. What it actually, instead of writing with a flower bracket, I am just writing in with the lambda expression, with the lambda or a fat arrow. What it actually, yeah, why we are writing, because you only it applies only if you're having a single expression, single line of expression. If it is a multi line of expression, then we have to go with this one. Let's go for the what is higher order function. Higher order function accept function as a parameter, one thing, and second thing, can return a function or can do both. Here, this is a function. It returns as a type as, it takes parameter as function. Then first case is matched, accept function as a parameter here. Let's go with this, how the flow will go. Additional result, I need a string value. I wrote hi and some function. It can be any function. I have taken a lambda expression over here. Function, some function is equal to a comma b, and do arithmetic operation like a plus b. Then y, now I want to print that x I got the value as additional result. I am pass the value of hi to it, and some function I pass, that is some function is a y. Here I can give the some function also. There is no restriction. So sorry, I have to give here y only, y comma 2 comma 3. Then the calculation will be done because here y name is there over here, right? This is a correct one. After that, next will be the can take function will return type as function. One was the parameter as a function. Second will be the can return as the function. Can return as a function. Here I have taken void main var where do some calculation, do some task. Do some task will pass the parameter to the division. Here int x will be 10, 10 by 2. The value will be 5 with the hello of 5. This value will be written over here. Do some calculation. Then it will be printed to uh, here hello of 5. Then what is closure? Within the closure, modify the value of the variable present in the parent scope. What it means? Here string message value is there, right? That will be of welcome to Dart. That is of in the parent scope. We are changing that value in the method function. This is a closure function. Yeah, sorry. This is a closure function. We are changing the value of the message welcome to Dart to Dart is awesome, and printing that thing with the help of display message. Now I got in a output as Dart is awesome. And closure is a function object that has access to the variable in its lexical scope even when the function is used outside of its original scope. Let's go for the example. Function talk, string message is hi. This is the parent scope for this one. And function say, message is equal to hello, print of message, returning the value of to of say. And here what is happening? I have my message, initially I have initialized the value to the message is hi. Now I modified it, modify the value from hi to hello, and I printed the value to it. Then I got return of say. Return of say is the function of the this type. This method will be returning the message print message that will go to here. After that, where speak equal to talk, speak function is written, then I will get the output as hello. Exception handling in Dart. Dart exception, all the programming language like Dart is giving handling the exceptions. Try, catch, on, and finally block. Block will be throw the exceptions. Catch will be handle the exceptions. After that, on actually the keyword is used for particular type of exceptions. If you know that in the prior manner while writing the code, like okay, this in the future we can get the exception like division by zero. I'll be explaining that in the later. IO exception means some input exception, some kind of. Then if you know in a prior manner, then we go with the on keyword. Then finally block. Finally block is like you don't do whatever. Try. We just informing to the try and catch. Just do whatever you want. But I will be executing at any cost. Whatever it means that like error will come or without error. Finally block will be executed. Exception handling here, I have taken the example like division result with a tilde character. Here what I did, I got the output as result of truncating division is infinity 100 0. As I told before, this is an exception because 100 cannot be divisible by 0. I'll tell you what is the story behind tilde in the future, and finally block will be executed. That is a job done. Exception will be thrown with in the catch print the exception. But once try block will be thrown the exception, then control will not go to the next line. Void main. Try where division result with tilde character. What has happens is actually 9 tilde with tilde character divided by 2. If you want to get the integer value while division, but it is not making the value, tilde character will not make the rounded of the figure. For example, like in the example 9 by 2, I'll be getting the 4.5. But if we use with the character of tilde character, then I'll be getting the output as 4. If you want to get in the program like integer value, we'll go with the tilde by some value. That is the difference between this. This is as I mentioned earlier, like on keyword, how to handle with this. Here I know that 100 by 0 will be thrown an exception. Yeah, the exception is integer division by 0 exception. The output I got is cannot divided by 0. And finally block is executed as it is, job done. Flutter loves Dart. Why Flutter loves Dart? Even I love Flutter actually. It's very easy to adopt the programming language if you know the object-oriented language. And one is the ahead of time compilation. It means that in the in the when we app will be released, right? Then to convert to the from multi-language like from Flutter framework to native code, it will be using ahead of time compilation. It will be take lesser time compared to other cross platform. Flutter is a cross platform. So just in time compilation, compilation is nothing but when we debugging the code while we developing the app. So that time actually app will be in a debugging mode. That time we will be getting the future of support for hot reload and restart. It will be very easy, that is using the help of just in time compilation. And animations are awesome over in a Flutter. And single layout language, that is actually we know need to if you know the Dart and little bit of the object oriented language, Dart Flutter is supporting very much. Actually we no need to know the XML layout because in Android what is happening in the for the displaying the UI we have to know the XML language, and for the functionality we have to write in a Java or in a Kotlin. Then there is no need of that such kind of different language in Dart, and easy of use because just the object oriented language. If you know, if we can adopt Flutter, and allocation and garbage collections. Like in the memory, what is happening is if the here actually everything is object Dart actually garbage collection is nothing but system dot gc means it is a command in the it was in Java, like this like that it will be doing the it will be eliminating the object from the memory, and support for hot reload as I told in the just in time compilation, and in the future it also will be the null safety. Basics of widgets are there like material app, scaffold, row, column, stack, app bar, container, icon, image, raise button, fab, drawer. And let's see how to add drawer in Flutter. Left drawer, right drawer, bottom drawer. Let's do some coding. We'll be executing this kind of I'll be doing. I will be create an app. Uh, let's create one page for that. That is the coding live. Okay, and it's in a GitHub actually, so I'll not add this file right now. And I'll take void main of run app. Then stateful widget I'll give the coding live widget. Okay, I got a message. You're not able to see the font size. I have to increase the font size of it. Able to see my screen, right? Let's go with the stop sharing. Okay, okay. Now let's do some live coding. Yeah, I was like void main, run app, coding live. Coding live, stateful widget I have added. Yeah, I think you have not missed this thing how I have added. Let me add thing. Void main or coding live. Then I will take the stateful widget. I'll use coding live. Yeah, here I have to add the void main run app of coding live. Yes. Now I have to use the material app. Then in home, add scaffold to it. Material app actually like a parent app for the application. Throughout the application, we have to use one material app. If you want scaffold, then app bar will be there. As per the design, what I've shared, we have to do like this. This will be the my screen. Okay, and app bar, I have to do title for it, which I'll take with the flat button dot icon so that I'll get icon and label for it. I'll just edit the icon of icons dot. It's a setting icon, so let me take the settings icon, and I will be the label I need. If you're using some font style, right? If you want a font style, we can go with the, right now I don't have, uh, we can use before with the Google fonts. Google fonts dot Google fonts dot Google fonts dot Google fonts dot text of text of this thing. Explain over here itself. Here scaffold is it. After that I have used the floating action button over here. After that, background color blue and the scaffold key and the resize to avoid button and padding and app bar and center title. And this is the container flag button icon, button click. Here actually text I will show as settings, and this will be the button click not equal to true I have added, icon I have added, bottom app bar I have added the this thing. Let's go with the design of this one. I will try flat button I have added on pressed, this one icon of settings I have done, and let me change the color of it, color colon constant, sorry, it's colors dot white, and let me change to style, text style of colors dot white, color colon colors dot white. Next will be the, take this one in the next line. Yeah, let me run the code. Oh yeah, before that, yeah, this is very very important. We have to check the pubspec.yml. I have to add the image for that. Image is nature. How to create a folder for adding an image. New. I have to create a directory, that is asset. Yes, I have added the image of it. This is a nature.jpg. I don't want to add it to the GitHub, so I'll just cancel it. And over here, actually, like if it is a multiple image, right, then it will be very difficult actually adding. It will be very lengthy in pubspec.yml. So better to use, what we have to do is actually asset the folder name. Now I have to I have given over here is asset slash dot. Then just do pub get. Here I have to process finish with exit code 0. Then it's everything pubspec.yml file is completely fine. Let me close the pubspec.yml file. I'll go, here which class you want to run, right? You have to open it to the programming. This is my lib file folder. I've tried with the coding live. Yeah, here, yeah, here there was an error. That is actually, it was telling me that like there is no void main function actually, but I have, it was some other class error actually. Now it's fine. Let me run the code. Until that, if I just open it, right, we can access what are the features are available. Root builder type, we just want to check if you want to like with that if you want to add something like for example I want to add a theme for it, then I can do like theme data Theme data of color, canvas color I'll give. Colors, background color I'll give. Right. See how it's giving a suggestion for me to use it. Wow, I love the most. Yeah. After that, scaffold. Scaffold is also to see this thing. Scaffold is like if you want, what are the features is available? Let's see. Like app bar is there, body is there, floating action button. Uh, okay, you can get this code how it's working through my GitHub link. That will be pasted in the comment section. Is there any question? Is there any question? Oh, okay, no question. This is the reference I have made, and this. Thank you. You can contact me at bh underscore Rashmi. Thank you. Thank you, WTM Ahmedabad, WTM Saudi.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, guess we are live finally.
Yes, it happened.
So, welcome everyone, and I hope you find this session fun. We just wanted to create something different than just normal talks and etc. And we'd like to have some interactions with the audience. So please, if you got any questions, any comment, any feedback, please write them in the chat, and we will discuss that. Me and Mahtab. So, who's us? I am Mace, and this is Mahtab. We are so happy to have you here today. And yeah, I think I'll give the stage for Mahtab to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. And first of all, thank you very much, Maze, for having me. And thank you very much, GCDC Saudi Arabia, for giving me this amazing opportunity to be here today. As Mace said, my name is Mahtab Hadayan, and I'm a software developer and Flutter developer. Yes.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Mace,
yeah. So we got a couple of questions here, like most asked questions in the Flutter community and in the Flutter world. And we wanted to give it a try and try to answer them from our humble experience. The first and most interesting question is that, why did you start with Flutter?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Your story was so inspiring and amazing, and I want the audience to listen to it. So please go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually somehow funny a little bit, maybe also, because I studied actually industrial engineering, and I did my master and complete my master in 2015. And after that, I started to work as internal account manager in a sales company, in a sales department of an international company. And but I was always interested in computer science and doing something with computer and technology. But I've never given it a try. Therefore, after 3 years, I thought I need some new challenges. And I thought about to give a try to software development. So I discovered for myself the Udacity. This is a learn platform. And I started with the Udacity course, which was Intro to Programming. The whole course was for 6 months, and I mainly learned about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a little bit Python. Yes, it's right. And that was this whole 6 weeks was really tough time for me. That was with lots of tears. I would say also encouragement and unmotivated sometimes, but try to be motivated again. And at the end, I could manage it, and I could complete these 6 months successfully. After the 6 months of learning all about software development and coding, I decided that I want really to be a software developer, and I want to completely change my path. And after a couple of months, my partner and we arrived in New Zealand. And in New Zealand, I went to different meetups and tech meetups and also startup meetups. And there I got an opportunity with a startup company to do my internship. That was the first step for me in software development world. And that was, again, just 3 months, but these 3 months was really tough. And I got so many information, and that was so many things that I had to digest. And I will never forget that every time that I just leave the company, I had just such a headache because I couldn't at all accomplish everything what I got. But nevertheless, I could also manage it and complete these 3 months. And after these 3 months, I wanted in these 3 months, maybe it's important to say that I was responsible for end-to-end test in this company, and the company was for app development, and the whole app was written in the Xamarin. So that was really interesting to learn about app development. But as I finished my internship, I was pretty sure that I don't want to stay with Xamarin. That was nice for this time, but that was not what I wanted to have for the rest of my development time, I would say. Therefore, I searched for some new solution, and the new solution for me was Flutter. Perfect. So I discovered the Flutter for myself, and I started with a Udemy course, which was from Angela Yu in Udemy. And that was, I think I completed this course in 1 month. And that was so amazing. That was so nice and beautiful, everything. And also the hot reload feature from Flutter was just inspiring me. And I was so flashed that I never ever wanted to be without Flutter. So I just stay with Flutter, and I hope that it will continue for the rest of my life.
Oh,
Yes.
That's so brave of you to just, make that turn from industrial engineering to software development and then discover Flutter. That's so amazing.
Yeah.
So
that was, as I said, that was a tough time, but I'm really happy that I managed it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you would say that we would say that you are a self-taught developer.
Yes, for sure.
That's
100%. I'm a self-taught software developer, and as I said.
So for me, like I started Flutter.
Mm-hmm.
I studied IT, like it was my degree, but I never was interested in software development. Like I always found it boring and with a lot of headache. I tried with web, I tried with Android, Java. Back that time, I only had a Windows machine, so I couldn't try with iOS. But I found that Android was so headache, like to deal with all that XML. Oh my gosh, I just wanted to be like, I don't want to be a developer, I want to be a designer, and that's it. I had my passion for design, so I decided for myself after graduation, I'm definitely going to be a designer. Okay. And then before my senior year project, I discovered Flutter, and that was you're waiting me to say that word. Yeah, I am a lazy person, okay, and dealing with all that XML and in web with JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, that was a lot of work. And I didn't want to do a lot of work. I wanted something to be like all in one place, one language. I didn't want to do a lot of stuff. So Flutter just came at the right time. Like it was seriously so good and fitted my laziness. So I loved it. I felt in love with Flutter from the first sight, literally. And since that time, I'm all in Flutter. Although I haven't found any job yet with Flutter, but I'm still like, I want to do Flutter for the rest of my life. I really don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, the thing is, when you have also the experience with other frameworks and other languages, I think you can recognize every positive sides that Flutter have, and you don't want to miss it again.
Exactly. So the next question that we hear a lot is how to get started with Flutter. So you said that you get started with a Udemy course. Was that it?
Yes, that was a Udemy course from Angela Yu. I think this is the company behind this for the app brewery, if I'm not pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, that was a Udemy course, and I will suggest it to everyone. That was really amazing. She explains everything so easy and understandable, and I would definitely suggest it to everyone. How did you start, Maze?
Yeah, so I discovered Flutter when I was about to make in my final year project. So I started immediately with the project. Like, immediately. I haven't taken any course. Actually, that was a little bit hard for me since my code for the final project, although it's working, I would say it's working, okay? But it's a total disaster and I would never try to take a look at it again. So my start was kind of messy. I should have started with the basics, like going to flutter.dev always is the best resource. Like I always advise people who want to get started with Flutter to go to flutter.dev and they will find a lot of amazing things like the code labs and cookbooks and all these resources that the Flutter team is providing every couple of days. So Angela course and the Flutter.dev could be a good starting point.
Yes.
So, the next question. What is your favorite widget, Mahtam?
So my favorite widget is, I think, Sliver App Bar. I love this widget, how nice it looks like and how easy to implement it is. And with scrolling effect and that the app bar is just you can have an image and scroll it up and the image gets smaller and it's really easy. It's not at all, it's not work at all. I love it.
Yeah, several.
And how is yours?
Well, mine could be maybe the stack. Although it's a little bit of an expensive widget, but I think it's amazing because it gives us that freedom of placing the widgets anywhere we want and even place them above each other and doing a lot of amazing things like with animation and all this stuff. I think it's an amazing widget.
Yeah.
So we have a question here. It's Max, and Max is saying, do you still work on your design skills or is it pure Flutter or do you combine them? Well, actually, yeah, I'm still working on my design skill. Like I work on both sides, design and Flutter at the same time. And I usually design my own apps. And sadly, I would say I get opportunities with design more than I get with Flutter. So I want to get opportunities with design, but with Flutter, but I'm still getting them with design. I guess that's tough. So
but maybe in near future it will come as it's going to be more popular. We hope all that it's the.
I hope so.
Opportunity will be growing. Yeah.
What do you want to learn next? What's the next thing that draw your attention in Flutter?
It's a good question. I would say the next thing that I would love to learn in Flutter is more about state management, because for most of the app that I created till now, that was pure either the set state from Flutter itself, or I manage my app with provider, which is also amazing, and it's enough for my needs and my requirements. But I will also go a little bit deeper and maybe start with Redux or Block as next step.
That's amazing. So for me, the next thing that I learned in Flutter is, well, it's also related to state management, which is Redux and Riverbod. Riverbod is the new state management solution that was made by Remy Roslet. I think it's going to be amazing, so I'm giving it a try.
Yes. Sounds great.
So I got another question here that says, what kind of Flutter job you expect to get? Well, an app developer, I think. What kind of Flutter job we can get with Flutter? App development, of course.
Yeah, why
Flutter.
not?
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
What is your favorite IDE?
Wow. This is a tricky question. I would say there is always so much discussion about different IDEs. I would say my favorite IDE is Android Studio. And I like it and I love how easy everything is set it up. And every time when I change my IDE, it doesn't take so long. So I will go back to Android Studio again. Sorry for that, for the other guys who doesn't like it. How about you?
But it's still your preference. Like Android Studio is not. I get this question a lot, asking about the best IDE for Flutter. There's actually nothing like a best IDE. It's always about your preferences. You prefer Android Studio, but for me, I don't like Android Studio. I like VS Code. So it's all about personal preferences. You try everything and then you decide what you want for yourself. And even for Flutter itself, like we tried it, we loved it, but other people may not love it. And that's their personal choice. I won't force Flutter on everyone. I won't say Flutter is the greatest solution out there. No, it's always your use case and your preferred solution.
Yes, for sure. It's amazing. Give it a try. Maybe you don't like it, but you will like it.
Yeah. 99%. But we are saying that there is still that 1%,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So which state management usually do you use in your projects?
As I said, for most of my apps and project, I use a provider. And I hadn't till now a big project where I need a complex provider state management, sorry. So this is the only state management that I know for now. How about you, Mace?
Yeah, for me, it's actually the same. All my projects were I didn't need to use block or anything. Provider was more than enough, and sometimes even just change notifier. So yeah.
So great. What is the next question, Mace?
What was the most challenging and confusing thing you had since you started with Flutter?
This is a good question. So as I told you, I started with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And after this, I have also experience with Angular. And in Angular, I use for Angular, we are using normally TypeScript. But I mean, in both of them, you have somehow the separation between HTML, CSS, which is for design, and JavaScript, which is for the functionality. So each of them has its own place. And for me, as I started with Flutter, that was a little bit confusing that everything is in one place. So I had a widget and I had to do everything here in the widget. And that was a little bit for me confusing, and I didn't know how should I manage it. So it's nice that I could just write it from top to bottom, but at the end I had such a huge code file that I couldn't manage it at all later. But now it's getting better. How about you?
Since I have came into Flutter with no background in no real background in software development, this point was not really confusing for me. But the really confusing thing was to get used to features and streams. I used them, like in my final year project, I used streams a lot, with Firebase. But the thing is, I used them, but I didn't know how they actually work. So that was confusing. I always got errors and things that I don't know why I'm getting them. I don't know how to fix them. So that was actually a little bit challenging. After I learned how they work, it became so easy, and I'm actually so grateful that streams and features exist. They are so great.
Yeah. Maybe it's worth to add. Sorry, May. I watched actually during the Flutter days. I watched also an amazing talk. I think that was from Flutter India. That was about future and the streams. Maybe I can find the link to the talk. And the guy who explained that, he explained really what is future, what is stream in a way that you can really understand it very well. And after that, as I said, you would be thankful that we have this in Flutter.
Yeah, amazing. So Max is asking, do you work in Android emulator, simulator, web, or desktop? I think we both need to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I usually work with simulator. It's maybe a little bit lighter than Android emulator. But when I want to debug an application like for Android, I have an app in production and it's only Android, not iOS. So to work on that application, I switch to Android emulator. But usually I work on the iPhone simulator. What about you?
To be honest, for me, it's the same. I actually use it most of the time and the iOS simulator. And I like that you can just run it also on the web or desktop. But most of the time, I have the iOS simulator and it's perfect. Yeah. And I think we have also another question, if I see that right.
Yeah. So we got a question from Rami. Have you published any app in Google App Store or the App Store? So
do you want to answer it this time at first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I did, yeah. Two apps. One of them is on Google Play only, and the other is, it's kind of private. That's why I don't talk about it on my account. But yeah, it's on App Store and Google Play for a special organization.
Okay.
What about you?
Yes, actually, I also published an application which was at the beginning stage of coronavirus, and that was I would say a simple app where you can get the most information about everything and also many information in this app about this coronavirus. But unfortunately, it got suspended from Google.
Yeah.
I think the app was just for 3-4 days online. And after that, it got suspended because Google suspended every application which was somehow related and was not from an organization, safe organization. And I would say I was really sad as it got suspended because it was downloaded by just a couple of people. And I got also some good feedback, I would say. But it got suspended. And later on, when I'm thinking about it, I would say I'm happy that it got suspended because I didn't want to be related with this subject and with coronavirus and whole stuff. Yeah,
I agree. But you still have it as the whole project.
Yeah, I still have it. And the benefit is from Flutter that even if my application or our application, because I actually developed it with Max, our application got suspended, we could publish it as web. So it's not completely dead, which is amazing.
That is the good thing about Flutter. So let's move to the next question. How do you structure your code?
Great question. How do you structure your code? So what I'm trying at the beginning is actually to, when I'm creating a widget or something like that, a widget, and I will add some other widget or something like that, I try to extract all the widgets in different files and break them down so that each widget is responsible had just one responsibility. It's also the same for any methods or function or I'm writing. So I try this one responsibility in my whole app. Yeah, and how do you do that?
Yeah, that's good. For me, I think I do that by separating the concerns, like putting a file where I can put all the logic, the services, the code that connects to an API or to a database like a Firebase, and that code should be in a file alone, away from the UI. I always tell people that we need always to keep our logic outside the UI file, because when the logic get mixed with the UI code, it all gets messy and it's hard to maintain, hard to test, and all these stuff. So we always need to separate the code and make functions and classes that each function does only one thing. And this is actually not not just in Flutter, it's in like a
Every-
rule, in all object-oriented or all languages.
Yes, that's right.
So we have another question here from Budur. How do you use XD to design? How do you see using XD to design our UI for beginners? Yeah, using Adobe XD is the main software that I use, for designing UI. And it's amazing, actually. It got a plugin for Flutter. Personally, I haven't tried it. Okay, I'm more like into typing codes more than getting it ready typed or something. But Adobe XD to design is really great. I tried Sketch, but well, I can't give clear reasons, but I loved XD more. XD has a really simple interface, and with like every month they add to it a lot of amazing features. Like just this month they added the stack scroll or something. It's a very amazing feature. So yeah, I suggest it for beginners. It's amazing. So and I think this question is for you. Max is saying, you can read it.
No, I wanted just to add something to your answer about the Adobe XD. I actually used or tried out the Adobe XD plugin for Flutter. And I think it's really amazing that you have just this possibility that you can extract your design to Flutter code. But I think what I thought is it's an amazing tool to get some idea if you have a complex design or something like that, to get an idea how do you want to start to create this design. But I think it's not so far that you can just export your Adobe XD design to Flutter and directly work in your project that you have later in your Flutter, because I had the feeling that it has too much boilerplate and too much code that you have to refactor it. This is what I thought about it.
Yeah, exactly. So you can read the next question.
Yeah, the next question is, did you also added CI/CD to it? Yes, for our application, I use the CodeMagic CI/CD, which is really simple. And you have to create an account in CodeMagic, and after that, add your repository to CodeMagic, and after that, fill out some of the steps that you have in CodeMagic and publish it to your App Store or to Google Play Store, which is also really comfy. How about you, Mace? Have you ever used CI/CD in your projects?
Well, unfortunately, no, I haven't. I was thinking of using CodeMagic for my next project. I see a lot of good feedback about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also recommend it to you. Try it out. You won't be regretted.
Of course, yeah. It's easy to have just one place where you can publish your application to the iOS, the App Store, and the Google Play Store.
Yeah.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, because I haven't tried it. Yeah, great. So we got a question on Twitter, which was Flutter or React Native?
Wow. Okay. I would say, I think you have experience with React, right, Mace?
Yeah, true.
So this is going to be your question.
Okay. So talking about React Native was a great solution before Flutter. Okay. So React Native was the first cross-platform that uses the declarative UI, and that was some kind of a revolution. And but I would say that when Flutter came, I think it's better than React Native for me. Okay, but it's still a use case. React Native, let's talk about the differences. React Native actually use the system widgets, like the OEM widgets. It depends on the widgets that is provided by the system, whether it's iOS or Android. And there is that JavaScript bridge in the middle between them. And that bridge creates a kind of a delay It's not so notable on iOS, but it's somehow on older devices. On Android, it's notable. So for the performance, Flutter wins. Okay, but I would say that it's a matter of use case. Because for me, well, I'm now an intern in a company, and that company has an application built in Unity. And they want to support the web. So to support the web, they want to choose another framework, like to write the application from scratch using another framework like React or Flutter. And they were between these two choices, choosing Flutter or React. They were a fan of Flutter because its performance on phones is just so great. You know, Flutter is completely native and it's independent from the system itself. So they wanted to use it, but the problem is they need to release their web application in 3 months, okay? And Flutter for Web is still in beta. There is a lot of features that are not supported yet. So the solution for them was, or the obvious choice was to go to React, okay? That was a use case. You know, they couldn't use Flutter because they needed to release their application to production in a few months. So I would say you need to always study your choices, like what is the business needs and all these things, and then you need to understand the differences between the solutions you are trying to implement, and then you can make your choice.
Yes. Amazing answer, I think.
Yeah. Thank you. So
I think we have another question in the chat, which is Max is asking, is there anything you miss in Flutter? If you could change something, what would it be? This is a hard question, I think.
Yeah.
Do you have any answer for that, Mace?
Maybe to have some, well, I think it's hard to be, like, it's not how Flutter is meant to be, but talking about design patterns, that is the thing that beginners got most confused with at the beginning. So if I would like something that to be in Flutter is that there is some design pattern that could be designed to suit Flutter, and yeah, you know, something that is good for beginners to start with. They don't, you know, you talked about that your code ended up all in one file, right? So if there was some kind of design pattern that is unified or you know, someone could start with, I would say that would be great.
Some orientation maybe for beginners or something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't know if there's something like that. I don't know. I don't think so. Or?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not so clear, you know, in courses and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I would say I stuck in it, so I know the problem. It would be great if there's a solution for that. And from my side, I would say, I don't know, actually. Sorry. There's so many amazing things that I had still to explore them. So I don't know. Maybe in future I can come up with something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we have any other question, Mace?
Well, from Twitter, no, we don't have. I think people on the chat stopped writing, and we are done with our questions.
I will just have a check also in my Twitter if I get something, but I don't think so. No, unfortunately, I don't have any question, Mace.
Yeah. So that was an amazing session.
That was really fun. Thank you.
Yeah, answering these questions. I hope people found it fun and found it useful. So thank you all for coming. And yeah.
Amazing. Do we have still our Kahoot?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Maybe
Oh
we
my
can
God.
do
Wait.
some fun game. So there are so many
Yeah.
people, and in the meanwhile, that when we are waiting for Maze, if you guys have any other question, please ask in the chat, and we will try our best to answer them.
Yeah. Stay here. We have a game for you.
I think this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a couple of resources that will be sent in the chat right now for you. There is a link for a Flutter roadmap. Yeah. Flutter quiz play. Let me share the screen.
So guys, you will need your Kahoot app
Or just from the web.
or from the web. Yes, it's right.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is ready.
So
Something will come up.
yeah. Sharing my screen. Yeah. So please go to Kahoot.it or use the Kahoot app and enter the spin. We will have a game, some questions about Flutter.
So I will just write maybe the code here in the chat.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Oh, let's see how many users do we have.
Yeah.
Please join, guys. It's gonna be fun.
We got some tricky questions here.
We have one player.
Only one?
I hope someone else will also join.
I think they are still installing the app.
Yeah, okay.
We can wait. It's fine.
Yeah,
we still
of
have.
course. Oh, 2 players. 3.
Yep.
We need
Couple
more people,
more
guys.
seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We will start. Oh, are you ready?
Everyone is ready. We have 4 players.
Oh, no one has answered?
No, not yet. No. Which one is wrong about Flutter?
So, which one is wrong about Flutter? It's an open source project, that's definitely true. It supports Android, iOS, and web, and Linux. And it creates native applications, not, as we hear all the time, hybrid applications. That's totally wrong. So it has multiple code base. This is wrong. So next, please be fast. Which folder takes care of Dart files in Flutter? Oh, it's of course the lib folder where all of your Flutter code is there.
I think you are faster than the community, Maze, aren't you?
I don't know. It's just 10 seconds for each question.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Don't spoil the answer.
Okay. So, Next. Which one is not an explicit animation widget in Flutter? Tween animation builder, animated widget, size, transition. I think
we shouldn't answer them.
I think the game is just too fast. I'm sorry for that. Should we restart it or something?
I don't know. Who should answer tween animation? Yes. Okay. Oh, and we have just one answer from the size transition. Yeah, size transition is a transition.
You need in bobspec.yaml. I will just end the game and I don't know.
No, it doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
Always pops up. I think you have some lag. We cannot answer. Okay. Okay, the zero is... Oh, okay. We had Max won.
Max won, yeah.
Oh, sadly. Okay, we have some lag, I think. This is the problem. Too fast. Can you adjust the time?
Yeah, I can. I will do that now.
Sorry, guys.
I just hope some other people will join. So let's try again. There's still a couple of interesting questions.
Stream is delayed. Yeah, okay. Do you think we should give it a try again? Guys, what do you think about it? Do you want to join again?
So I'm adjusting the time now.
Yes, again, please. Okay, perfect.
So this is the new.
Okay. So let's try again. We will get a new code, right?
Yeah, paste the code in the chat.
So we hope that this time will work. So Remy is there, Max is there. Come on, guys. Oh, great. Adnan is there. Should maybe wait a little bit more, or do you think we can start?
Yeah. 10 seconds.
Cross our fingers. Everything gonna be working. 4 players. Perfect.
Yeah, we will start. Yeah, you know the answer.
It's fine. So the quiz is started. Which one is wrong about Flutter? I think this time is better. Yeah.
Yeah. So next.
I think we have 4 people. And we have just
we
3. 4. Okay, perfect. It's multiple code base, which is wrong.
Which folder takes care of Dart files in Flutter? Amazing. Everyone knows the answer.
Great.
So, which
The
one
lib
is
folder.
Which one is not an explicit animation widget? That was from your talk.
Yeah.
Amazing. Everyone knows the answer. Now this question is going to be new.
Great. So we have something new now. Yeah, tween animation builder is still implicit widget. Implicit animation.
Spaces is so important when we deal with a YAML file. So
Yeah.
how many do you need? It's not 2 tabs, it's 2 spaces, which is 1 tab, I think, right?
I think it depends on your IDE. How do you set it up?
So next.
But 2 spaces is the right answer.
How many parameters does the build method take in a stateless or stateful widget?
Ravis said every exam should be done twice. I'm agree with you.
Every what?
Every exam should be done twice.
Oh. Well, so someone said 3. It's just the build context. So
the main build function has just 1, which is a context. Yeah.
How do you declare a private function in Dart? Or a private variable? Both works. Oh, the keyword private works in Java, but not with Dart. Simply just the underscore. And note that in Dart, there is no protected and what was that fourth? In Java, the fourth type. Normal? I don't know. I just forgot
I don't know.
it.
Sorry.
It's just in Dart, it's simple, public and private, nothing else.
Yeah.
So, what is context in Flutter?
This is also a good question. I like it.
Does it hold information about the widget? Or is it an inherited widget? Is it a widget's key? Or does it reference the widget's location in a tree? So, great. 3 knows the answer. Good job.
Yeah.
A context is always reference to the widget place in a tree. And every widget has only one context. So, true or false? Dart was originally made for Flutter. Amazing. Everyone knows the answer. Dart was originally made as a browser, like it was made to run on the browser with JavaScript, but that didn't work. So then Flutter came up, and Dart became famous because of Flutter. So, true or false? Your application has only one tree, the widget tree. Right. The application doesn't have only one tree. It has two trees, the render tree and the widget tree. The widget tree is what the developers deal with, like what we write on our IDE. But the render tree is what actually shows on the screen. So the last question, true or false? It's possible to debug an app on multiple devices at the same time. People who watch the Flutter Interact surely know the answer.
I think this is also why Flutter is so amazing.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, it runs on multiple devices. And from the Flutter Interact, we saw the Flutter Octopus. That was amazing, like around 7 or 8 devices. I don't remember the number. And they all run on debug mode, and the hot reload just worked on all of them. So it's just super amazing. So we are done. Thank you everyone for joining today. And we hope you find the information in this quiz useful.
And who won, Mace?
Yeah.
Okay. The winner is?
Yeah, these are the winners.
Adnan.
So,
Congratulations.
So I'll stop my screen now. And thank you everyone for tuning in. We have no time. Just we reached the limit. So thank you, Mahta, for joining. And see you again.
Thank you very much for having me, Mace.
Yeah, thank you.
See you. Bye.
See you.